Today we got a little bit of wind out in the yard here. Stuff is blowing pretty good. Let's see how much wind we got today. It's definitely gusting from about 5 or 6 miles an hour. Let's take this little plane out and see how it does. When I got my planes in heavy wind out out in the wind on the picnic table, I leave them upside down. They tend to hold down in the wind a lot better that way. This one here, you can see by the scale that I've got in the pictures, it's very light plane. But it still handles these strong winds very well. We got it in safe mode right now, and give it a little toss, and away she goes. I enjoy just playing out in the wind here. You can just kind of hover about half throttle. And it'll just hang up there. Stop or fly backwards. That's full up elevator right there. Point the nose down, that's the nose throttle and down. This comes back really quickly. So there's just a hair under half throttle. See if we can get it flying backwards. This depends. When we have the stronger gusts, it's easy to get it to fly backwards. And then if we hit full throttle, it cuts through the wind, no problem. Once you start to practice in the wind, it actually gets quite fun, especially with these smaller, less expensive planes. I just crashed this one here a couple of days ago. I busted 3 of the 4 wings, and it only took me probably about 15 to 20 minutes with a hot glue gun, and it was back out flying again. Trims were the same, didn't have to touch anything. They're quite robust. I've had other people flying it, crashed it into a dirt field, knocked the front cover off, the battery come out of the battery tray, and then you just put it back in it, and it didn't even break anything that time. In safe mode here, it's going up and down. It's still pretty stable as long as you keep the nose pointed into the wind. I'm not giving it much feed there other than left and right. It's going up and down on its own. Around here. There's no throttle. Nose into the wind. And it lands pretty easy. I'll go toss it up again. So you see the plane right here? It's actually got a broken wing right there. See the crack? I'll put a little bit of, well, there's safe mode. I'll put a little glue in there and it'll be good to go. I'm actually going to give it a throw into the wind here and see how it handles with that busted wing. ready to go again. So we got this little crack in the wing. Still flies okay, but obviously we want to fix that before we do too much more flying. So just got the hot glue gun here, and we're gonna just open it up a little bit. We'll spread that, put a little glue in there, and we'll be good to go in no time. And that's all there is to it. Hold a little tension on it. You can see I've busted off on both sides these little slats. That go little styrofoam slats in between the wing. Don't really matter at all. I have also ripped off the landing gear / crash landed and busted the landing gear off, but anything with these little planes just to make them a little bit lighter. And something else I'm gonna do while I'm just saying it out loud, that these little slats in between the top and the bottom of the wing don't really matter, is I'm just gonna trim this one off a little bit more and just again get rid of a little bit of excess weight that's not needed. I could trim that right flat, I guess. I'm debating about it just because I'm wondering if that has any kind of strength, but you never know, I guess, till you try. So we'll trim that right off flush with the top of the wing. There we go. And I'll do the same with the other 4 sides. So here's a little more tricky because we just, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one that we just glued. There's pretty much nothing on this thing you can't glue together. I mean, obviously the prop. You have a spare prop, a spare motor. I mean, if you want to go crazy, spare servos. They have these little tiny electronic ones in them. I mean, super easy to fix anything on this. This tail wheel here, again, that's more weight. So now that we're trimming. So since we last talked, a couple of things. The slats in between here could be more important than I realized, because when you're doing, you can fly this plane very aggressive, but if you get very, very aggressive in an inside loop at high speed, for instance, it can cause the wing to fold in like this here, and then when you get that action, you get the top aileron. I don't know if you can see it there, it starts to go up a little bit and can cause a downflow on the wing. And that can cause some issues. For instance, it can cause like half the wing to fall off when you crash into the ground. I had mentioned too that this plane was easy to fix. It is easy to fix. It's easy to glue back together. The foam glue is really nice, but when you bust the shaft off the motor, that's a little more difficult. And also the wing, I crashed so hard that it ripped this wire right out of the servo on that wing. So that's a little more expensive a fix. You're looking probably 30 bucks, I think, for the servo, close to another 30, 35 bucks for the engine or for the motor. And so you're looking probably 70 bucks to replace the parts, or $217 for a complete new ready to fly plane. Which way would you go? So that's where we're going to stop for this video, and I'll let you know in a future video if I decide to fix this one or to buy a new one. This would make a great parts plane, and a new one would be really nice and pretty. But 70 bucks is a lot cheaper than 217. Which way would you go?